And it's live. Coastwatch Football here for a very exciting evening. Central Coast Mariners on the verge of the Inter-Zonal Finals in the AFC Cup. Not far away from the final. And they've got one leg. Well, I shouldn't say leg because there's been so many legs. There's been so many semi-finals, finals, Inter-Zonal, zonal. It's been quite a complex journey. But we're here. Second leg against Odisha FC from India. And Mariners hold a 4-goal lead. Hopefully tonight we just dig deep, we hold on, and we carry ourselves through to the next round. All right, how are you guys feeling? Jump in the live chat. Okay, so this match not too far away from kicking off, but I'll tell you what, this is going to be. Despite the scoreline, obviously the aggregate scoreline being 4-0 to the mighty Mariners. This is going to be a real test for the Mariners. You know, this is the longest the furthest Mariners have traveled for a match, as far as I'm aware, for a long time. So it's obviously the travel, considering Mariners just played a game in Macarthur, against Macarthur in Campbelltown on Sunday, and backing it up a few days later, all the way over in India. And it's going to be, it's going to be completely different conditions, completely different environment, obviously, and Odisha's home ground. And in the first leg, of course, I was there in person to watch Mariners win 4-0. Very happy with the performance in the end. But Odisha showed signs, and they've got a quality side. And A-League fans will be familiar with Roy Krishna. He was playing off the right-hand side for Odisha in that first leg and was almost at times playing as like a right wing back. He was getting back and doing his defensive duties for Odisha. Cy Goddard as well, former Central Coast Mariner, sort of playing in a number 10 role, a central attacking midfield role for Odisha also. So look, they're a team, I think, Odisha, who, and even their striker, who actually had a couple chances on goal as well. They're number 10 in the middle of the park, who is controlling all of the game. They're going to throw everything at Mariners, I think, in this second leg. They know that they're down 4-0. They're going to be keen to score early and really make a charge at Central Coast Mariners. So that's why I think this is going to be a real test of the Mariners and their defensive capabilities and their mental strengths, I guess you could say as well. Playing so far away from home. But as I mentioned, very, very excited for this one. Central Coast Mariners. As you can see here, we've got the lineup graphic on the screen, and we've obviously had some changes from the side that defeated Macarthur 3-0 on the weekend. You got Nathan Paul slotting at left back, replacing Jacob Farrell, who's being rested. Edmondson comes in up top, playing alongside Joshi Nisbet, Barcelos and Torres on the wings. Ballard and Tapp continuing their partnership through the middle of the park. Yeah, man, aside from that, it's a solid lineup. Storm Rue being rested as well, of course. But good to see Troy in the chat. Troy, of course, fellow Mariners fan. Good to always see you here, Troy. Hope you're doing well, mate. The Gaming Bean, hope you're doing well. Bailey's here as well, of course, dropping the Go CCM. Excited for this watch-along. Me too, Gaming Bean. Me too. And do I watch this on 10 play again? Yes. And I'm sure we're going to get plenty of questions of that because it happened last time. Actually, the last live watch-along we did was the previous Mariners AFC Cup away match, which was against Macarthur last month. And yeah, like the whole night, it was like, hey, where can I watch this game? Which is fair enough because it's already a little bit complicated as it is, where like some games are on free-to-air Channel 10. Like 2 A-League men's games are Sunday Arvo and the Saturday night one, and then you've got and then like obviously everything's available to watch on Paramount Plus except for the AFC Cup. For the AFC Cup, you can't watch it on Paramount Plus, which seems weird, right? I feel like that would be pretty straightforward for them to do. You can only watch it on 10 play, which is kind of weird. But yeah. Very hard for Auckland FC, and just dropped a video earlier tonight. Feel free to check it out afterwards. My thoughts on the reveal of some of the big A-League news that was dropped today. Auckland FC, their name, their logo, their kit officially revealed. Very exciting. I like the name, Auckland FC. Again, it's nothing fancy, as I said in my reaction video. And glad it's not, Auckland Black Knights, although they have said that Black Knights is sort of like the club nickname. The kit's cool. Again, it's nothing mind blowing. It's sort of just a classic sort of striped kit. Reminded me of Western United's home kit. Obviously, they wear green and black. And then again, the logo was like nothing crazy, but it was fine. It was fine. I'll tell you what, I didn't have any strong feelings about it. The main thing with Auckland FC is I'm just like excited that it's happening and it's getting off the ground and we're seeing things. Everything's in place now. Goldbot in the chat, how's it going? Says this should be fun. Lots of opportunities for counter-attacks, I reckon. On top of the table, indeed. Central Coast Mariners, of course. Top of the table after defeating MacArthur on the weekend. I want to watch Central Coast Mariners v Auckland next year. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that's going to be interesting for all the Australian sides. Some of the Australian sides already have to travel to New Zealand to us. Obviously, we know, Wellington travel away every second week, so we can't complain. But there's going to be potentially A-League teams who are going to have to be traveling to New Zealand 4 times a year. So yeah. Troy also chiming in on the Auckland discussion. Says Auckland is a great addition to the A-League to compete with the Knicks. Indeed. And again, something I talked about in my reaction video discussing the Auckland announcement today is that the derby is going to be so much fun to watch, or the rivalry, whatever you want to call it. Wellington Phoenix, Auckland FC. It's going to be really unique, man. I don't know if any other code has that, where they've got 2 New Zealand teams. So I'm excited, man. I think it's going to bring something new to the A-Leagues, right? Sporty O'Brien, good to see you here, mate. Jumping in the chat, says Nisbet is playing class football right now. Look, he's in the form of his life, Josh Nisbet. And we look, Mariners fans, we've always known he's been good, right? He's always a player who puts in a good shift. And, last year in the championship, he took his game to another level. And this year, not only is he taking his game, Josh Nisbet taking his game to another level, but it's kind of crazy. It'll be crazy if he doesn't get an offer to go overseas. I mean, maybe he has now. I don't know. But if I'm a club in Europe, in Asia, I don't know, man, Josh Nisbet just has so many good qualities. And the fact that he's adding assists to his game now, and he's scored in his last 2 A-League games, so he's starting to add goals to his game, which was probably the one thing that was lacking. And Josh is probably the first person to say that. He's not, he doesn't score many goals. But the last couple of goals he scored were really, really good goals too, well-taken goals. And look, there's a lot of conversation, and rightly so, around Josh Nisbet potentially being included in the Socceroos squad, which was announced this morning. Did a video on that as well. Check it out on the channel afterwards. And yeah, man, that would have been great. He wasn't included. Obviously, it's tricky to get into that Socceroos midfield. It's so stacked as it is. But yeah, man, we love Nizzy. We love Nizzy. The intro has started. Indeed, it has. And wow, there you go. Kalinga Stadium, 34 degrees, according to the broadcast. That is the local temperature. 34 degrees. Well, I tell you what, it was a warm one today here on the Central Coast of New South Wales. Feel free to jump in the chat. Where are you guys tuning in from? Say g'day, say hello. This one is set to kick off in a matter of minutes. The team's preparing to come out onto the pitch. Your score prediction is right so far. Victory Western. Yes, actually, thanks for reminding me, Newey Jets football. I'm obviously haven't been. I caught the first half, but then I've been watching the second half. Oh my goodness, yeah. I'm just having a look at the updates right now on my phone. And the last time I checked, it was 2-1 victory. They'd come back, and I was like, oh no, it's deja vu. Victory going to come back and win. But Ben Garuccio has just scored a 90th minute goal to equalize. And yeah, Newey Jets, right? That was my prediction, 2-2. I was like, this game could have goals in it. There we go. I got a prediction right, which is rare. It's always hard to predict. It's always hard to predict the A-League. But there you go, 2-2. Feel free to drop any more updates in the chat. We'll see if someone can find a winner. Dramatic game happening in Amy Park. Final moments as we speak. But of course, our focus here tonight is on the AFC Cup. Odisha FC, Central Coast Mariners, the winner of this game, going through to the Inter-Zonal Final. 2 legs to be played across April. And Central Coast Mariners have 1 foot in those Inter-Zonal Finals. Very exciting indeed. That's right. Announcement: heaps of Auckland players set to be announced. Yeah, man. I think they mentioned in the article across the A-League's website, I saw that they were going to, as of June, they were going to start officially announcing players too, which is good. Interesting question from Gaming Bean. Love the question. What do you think is the best stadium in the A-League? I mean, look, can I be biased and just say Industry Group Stadium, home of Central Coast Mariners? I think a lot of people would agree, though, too. I think a lot of people would. Nah, look, I'm a big fan of Combank Stadium. I've been there a bunch of times. It's a really nice stadium. I do like Allianz Stadium. I do. And look, I'm hoping to get to more stadiums in the future, man, across Australia. I've never been to Cooper Stadium, but that always looks like a vibe, and people say good things about it. Ooh, love these announcements. Yeah, man. Matthew Newton dropping some of the players who, yes, have been rumored or potentially confirmed. I don't think anyone's been officially confirmed yet, hey, to join. And I have heard about a few of those. Yeah, Champness. Brimmer, yeah, Jake Brimmer is sort of the big one that's been circulating, hey. Jake Brimmer potentially going to Auckland. I mean, what a signing that would be. I even saw, I can't remember, I don't know if this was just someone saying it or whether it was just something to this rumor, but I saw somewhere that Jamie McLaren has been linked. Tell you what, dude. If Auckland could pick up Jake Brimmer and Jamie McLaren, that's a terrifying combination. Yeah. And Dan Hall, as you mentioned there, Matt, potentially another player being looked at by Auckland, which is very interesting. Dan Hall on the pitch tonight for Central Coast Mariners, as the players are set to come out on the pitch. Mariners, of course, in the all-yellow strip that they've been wearing this entire AFC Cup run. Odisha FC. The stands unpacked, but there are fans in the house. And, oh, there you go. There's a Mariners fan on the broadcast. They have just shown a Mariners fan. I always wonder when you see fans like when you watch Socceroos games and you see fans like over there in games like all across the world, like whether they're like local, like in that area, or whether they've actually traveled for it. And I tell you what, credit to any Mariners fans who have jetted across to India for this one. Teams in the tunnel, ready to come out onto the pitch. Mariners lead this tie 4-0. It's going to be interesting to see how Mark Jackson's side approach this game in the opening stages, especially. They'll want to sort of dictate play, control possession as they did in the first leg. Make sure they keep Odisha scoreless, especially for this first half. If they can do that, that should be a pretty chill from there on out, you'd imagine. The Mariners deserved winners of that first leg, 4-0 in the end, which we're very happy about that. I remember it took a while we scored the first goal, and then the 3 goals came in the second half of memory. It was only a week ago. And very happy about that, just to have that 3-goal lead. I'll tell you what, if it was 2 or even 3, I would have been slightly nervous that this game could have been a bit more precarious for us. But 4-0, very happy with this lead heading into the second leg. Team's currently going through the handshakes. That one Knicks fan is in the chat. Oh, it's going very well, mate. How are you going? Good to see you here. Good to see you here, Knicks fan. Knicks fan, how do you feel about the Auckland announcement? How do you feel? It's going to be interesting, to see just the rivalry between the club and the fans and everything with the New Zealand derby. Wellington Phoenix, Auckland FC. Yeah, we'll do griddle at halftime for sure. We always love doing a bit of griddle. For those that don't know, griddle is, of course, the A-League player guessing game, which is always a lot of fun. All right. Here we go, lads. Teams out on the pitch. Ready to go for this one. Knicks fan on the Auckland announcement says, I'm stoked. Don't read the badge, but the name and kit is nice. Can't wait for the derby. Yeah, man. Really, really excited to see the first New Zealand derby, I'm sure. I hope it's going to be packed, man. I'm sure it will be. It's going to be awesome, dude. It's going to be awesome. Very excited for another derby in the A-League. Rocking the chamomile tea tonight as the beverage of choice. Drop your beverage of choice for tonight's match in the chat. Or any snacks, if you've got any football snacks that you're enjoying for this tonight's encounter. Goal prediction for tonight. Let's go 2-1 Mariners. I think Odisha showed, enough in the first leg to suggest they have some quality on the pitch and potentially could get on the score sheet here at home. But look, I think Mariners should have enough to get over in the end. But surely you're going to think that the 4-0 lead that Mariners took home in the first leg is going to be enough to get the Central Coast through. Mikael Docker playing it right back tonight for the Mariners in superb form. Scoring, assisting, and keeping Storm Roo out of the team at the moment. Well, that's the question, isn't it? Casual Sydney FC supporter. Good to see you here in the chat, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hey, look, at this rate, it's a serious possibility. Mariners are now deep into this tournament, potentially going through. And look, if Mariners win tonight, if Mariners can, maintain their 4-goal advantage at least, it's just 3 games away from lifting the trophy. Incredible. Mark Jackson on the bench, on the camera, has done a great job with this side. And we are set to kick off. Appreciate you guys joining me for this one. Cy Goddard to get us underway. The former Central Coast Mariner was there a couple of years ago. Didn't quite set the world on fire at Central Coast Mariners, but did a decent job. Struggled with the injuries a little bit from memory, Cy Goddard. Wearing the number 11 for Odisha FC now, and of course another familiar face in Roy Krishna. Finally, we are underway. Roy Krishna playing off that right-hand side. Keep an eye on him. We're in the number 21. Plenty of pace. Johnny Warren medal winner a number of years ago, which he picked up during his time at Wellington Phoenix. Opening stages of this one. Where can I watch? You can watch on 10 Play. For viewers in Australia, check out 10 Play. You can watch for free. Not sure if this game is available internationally, but check it out on 10 Play for free. One Knicks fan says Central Coast Mariners for the treble. Hey, dude, we're on track. That'd be huge too, wouldn't it? I mean, it would be an incredible season. But look, Mariners sitting top of the A-League, potentially 4 games away from the AFC Cup. It could happen, dude. It could happen. Hello from Brazil. Bruno tuning in. Good to see you here. Good to see Matt in the chat as well. Howdy, Matt. Good to see you here. If you guys want to support the stream, support the channel, hit the like button. Appreciate it. Ronald Barcelus charging up from the right-hand side. Looking to feed for a Nisbet. Those two have combined a couple times in recent memory. Pass a bit too heavy. So again, we talked about it pre-game, but how do Mariners handle this opening stanza of the match? What's of Odisha got here? I mean, the good thing is, like, the spotlight is off the Mariners here. The pressure is off the Mariners. It's all about Odisha to see what they can conjure up for the second leg. They didn't provide too much goal threat a week ago in Gosford. But they're a team who seemed to have quality players. I was impressed by some of their players last week in that first leg. Hey, appreciate that, casual Sydney FC supporter. Thanks for hitting that like button. Matty says, anyone you think Mariners could pick up if Torres and Nisbet Hall go? Hey, look, I mean, first of all, the first place to look, if Mariners were to look, obviously, you know, Mariners are used to sort of having players leave the club. It's the way the club works. But, you know, we've got a fantastic youth system, man. And I think that would be the first place to look, the academy. You know, I've got Brad Tapp, who's starting tonight. He came up through the academy, of course, as well as many of the other players. Brad Tapp, you know, Nathan Paul, who's starting tonight as well, I'm sure could slot into the center of defense if Dan Hall was to depart. Josh Nisbet, of course, playing in this more advanced role once again tonight, which is suited him nicely, getting himself involved in the attack. And it's a cool combination too. Oh, that's a poor giveaway. Edmondson's going to get on possession here. Back for Barcelos, who shoots long range. And the keeper is able to parry it away for Odisha FC. And the home side are back in possession. But coughed up possession there, Odisha. A bit of a weak back pass. And interesting from Edmondson there, not to like drive that forward. He had a bit of space, but took, I guess, the less risky option and played it back to a teammate. Do you think it's a risk for City going in for Trewin and Nisbet? Do I think it's a risk? Certainly not a risk. I mean, you've got two very good young players there, Trewin and Nisbet. And if Melbourne City can pull that off, that'd be a fantastic move. Obviously, a Mariners fan, it would break my heart if Nisbet was to go to City. But I have seen that rumor. We'll wait and see if there's any validity to that report. Kai Trewin, I could see that happening. Yeah, Melbourne City do have a history of finding the promising players across the league and bringing them in. They've done that with Marco Tilio, with Darius Gamulka in the past, and a number of other players. Where's Jacob Farrell? To my understanding, he's just being rested. We know Jacob Farrell, I think, was a little bit tired in the previous AFC Cup game too. I don't know whether he's been carrying an injury or anything. But look, considering the scoreline, the aggregate scoreline, it's I think we're in a good position where we can sort of rest players. And Jacob Farrell, Storm Rue not playing today as well. Mariners with a bench that's a lot shorter than what we usually see in the AFC Cup. Usually we see a pretty extended bench. Obviously in the AFC Cup, you get to name a long list on the bench. Mariners not taking too many players, hey? G'day, Eli. It says, get used to seeing Krishna back. He's signing for Auckland. Hey, it'd be great to see, hey? I mean, not for Phoenix fans, that's for sure. Speaking of Roy Krishna, he's just picked up a knock here. He's holding his face. Hopefully he's all right. Hey, we'd love to see Roy Krishna back in the league. Obviously, he's getting towards the latter stages of his career. He's in his mid-30s now, I believe. But hey, that'd be a great signing. Roy Krishna picked up the Johnny Warren medal a few years ago in the A-League. Nama, good to see you here as well. Hope you're going well. We are 6.5 minutes into this contest. Central Coast Mariners 0, Odisha FC 0. And by the looks of things, it's raining over there in India. Some rain coming down, as they showed on the broadcast earlier. Apparently 34 degrees local time at the stadium. But the rain has started to fall. Central Coast Mariners with a chance to drive forward here up the right-hand side. Mikael Docker Loves getting up that wing. Mariners had one decent opportunity a moment ago. See if they can get through once again. Torres on the left. Through for Barcelos. Back for Torres. Great chance. Mariners. Goalkeeper caught into action. It's a corner. Nice little move there. Barcelos coming over to the left as well. Torres. Nice combination from the two South Americans. Well, I tell you what, on that replay, that's a handball. Am I seeing that wrong? That's a handball. No VAR. But unless I saw that wrong, the one of the defenders clearly handled that. Anyway, it's a corner. Ballard's delivery's all right. Headed away. If VAR was in use, I might have had something to say there. What's your thoughts on the Mike Rodan situation? Do you think he will get sacked? Asks Nama. Look, it's not going great, obviously, is it? I mean, the fact that he didn't show up for the press conference isn't good. The post-match press conference after losing 7-0 to Melbourne City. And they're in a really tricky position. And I saw a story again today saying that there's potentially, there's links with Tony Popovic, Ante Milicic. I think Paddy Kaznorba was another name thrown in there as well. Some names linked to the Wanderers job in the future. So I don't think he will get sacked. Look, Wanderers still are in an okay position. We shouldn't forget that they only just slipped out the top 6 this past week. So there's still a serious chance they play finals football this year and see where they go from there. But you get the sense that there might be a change in the off-season. Yeah. Eli says, Knicks fan here. Thoughts on our bottle up top? Personally, I think we'll meet in the final. In terms of Premier's Plate, I can't decide. Yeah, I tell you what, in terms of the Premier Plate, I think it's going to go right down to the wire. Mariners and Wellington have been fantastic this year, level on points as it stands. And the two teams meet in a couple weeks' time, which I'm so excited for. It's going to be a great match. In a few weeks' time, I think it's like early April, Mariners and Wellington play each other. Let's come back to that because Docker's in behind here and crossing. High delivery. And Odisha managed to clear. Yeah, man, it's going to come down to that matchup in a few rounds' time between Wellington and Mariners, and I think whoever wins that will go on to win the Premier's Plate. Both teams are just looking flawless at the moment. That's for sure. Errol, where can I watch the match for free? On 10 Play. You can check it out on 10 Play. 10 Play's been awesome. They've been showing the not sponsored or anything. They've been showing the games for free, the AFC Cup games. That is, of course, if you're from Australia, you can watch on 10 Play. Thank you for that casual Sydney FC supporter dropping in that Mariners Wellington match, the 6th of April, Saturday, 5:30 p.m. kickoff. Huge fixture, man, for the Premier's Plate race. That's going to be a cracker. Goalkeeper standing on the ball a little bit too long there. Edmondson almost stealing in possession, but Odisha can move up the pitch now. Odisha haven't been able to break past Mariners' defensive block just yet. They've had a lot of possession across their back line, as they did in the second leg. But so far, Mariners doing a good job in the opening 11 minutes. And as Troy says here as well, home game against Wellington is going to be awesome. What a premiership chase. And as Eli said before in the chat, yeah, potentially could play in the final. And it's important too, hey, like who finishes top, because they get to host the final. And I tell you what, if Wellington were to host the grand final, they would have a massive, I think they'd be hugely favored to win it. So it's going to be really critical as to who finishes top. So, yeah, man. It's been a really exciting title race, though. Premiership race, hey? 12.5 minutes in, Odisha 0, Mariners 0. Possession stats on the broadcast pretty even. Mariners at 53%. Nama with an interesting comment here. Question regarding Socceroos squad, which was announced today. You can check out my reaction to the Socceroos squad in the video that I put out earlier today. What's your thoughts on Brandon Borello getting chosen instead of Stammer? Of course, Nama referring to Apostolos Stamatolopoulos of Newcastle Jets, who has been in superb form for the Hunter Club. Well done, Mariners, just dealing with a bit of pressure here at the back. Yeah, surprising. But look, Brandon Borello is someone who Graham Arnold obviously knows well and really favors. And I guess can play in that right wing position. And as I talked about in my Socceroos reaction video, squad reaction, I would expect Brandon Borello to be that starting player on the right flank. He played there for the Socceroos in November, whereas Stamatolopoulos is more of a striker, just like a straight-up striker, hey? And he's already got a billion strikers in the squad, hasn't he? In Fornaroli, Duke, Iredale, Taggart, obviously announced. And he was questioned about Stamatolopoulos in the press conference, Graham Arnold. And he said that he's a player who could potentially be, in the Socceroos sphere in the near future. Do you know what our next fixture after this is? Let's come back to that. Almost in behind Odisha. Flag has gone up, though. The next fixture for Mariners is, let me double check. It's the home game against Sydney FC. It's not for a while. I'll tell you that. Mate. Mariners' next fixture is the 30th of March against Sydney FC. So there's a 2.5 week break. Obviously, that break is because this weekend's fixture has been postponed, obviously, with the Mariners' travel commitments. Mariners were set to play Melbourne City this weekend. That has been pushed back to April. So, yeah, and then the week after, we've got international break. So, Socceroos in action, which we're very excited about. Taking on Lebanon in the World Cup qualifiers. Here's a chance here. Krishna trying to get him behind. He's gone down in the box. No penalty. But Cy Goddard with a delightful through ball. Krishna went down. No penalty. 15 minutes in, 0-0. Mariners lead 4-0 in aggregate. Cheers for that as well. Casual Sydney FC supporter. I tell you what, that's going to be a huge game as well. Two teams in good form. Sydney FC have been playing good at the moment. No, won't be going to Socceroos Lebanon. The Sydney one, at least. I'm going to a concert the same night. Knicks fan says, all this Auckland FC news has made me wonder about Canberra. We don't hear enough news about them, and I'd like them to join the league later this year with Auckland. I'm right with you there, Knicks fan. And again, I briefly touched on that in my video about the Auckland FC announcement, hoping that we do see Canberra get announced soon. That would be awesome. So hopefully it happens, man, because obviously Auckland, we've been hearing the announcements have sort of been, trickling through for the last, 6 months now. With Canberra, there's been almost nothing, which is really concerning. And as I mentioned in the video today, I really want them in because we wouldn't want a competition with 13 teams where teams are having buys. I'm not a fan of competitions where you have to have a buy. We want everyone playing every week, man. So if we can just get the two teams in the same season, 14 teams total, that'd be great. Barcelus driving forward, brought down by a sliding challenge. Play on. Torres left wing. 17 minutes played. Maxi Ballard, edge of the box. Torres, Mariners patient build up here. Gets cut out in the end though. That's right, Troy. Yes. Long break for the Mariners, which is good. After what has been a pretty hectic schedule. And look, if Mariners get through, we've got a busy schedule in April. Because we've got a couple, we've got the 2 legs in the Inter-Zonal Finals in the AFC Cup as well. So, no real clear-cut opportunities just yet. Mariners have had a couple chances. Barcelos with a long-range shot. Torres got in behind at one point. But it was blocked away for a corner. Roy Krishna had a penalty shout a few moments ago for Odisha. But aside from that, it's been pretty chill after 18 minutes of football. Appreciate you guys tuning in for this one, joining me for this live watch along. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support the stream, hit the like button. You can also consider sending through a super chat if you want to help me continue to promote the wonderful, the beautiful game down under. Aaron is parked back in their defensive half now as Odisha find some promising field position. Plenty of passes by the home team as they look to forge a way through. Mariners really good defensively in the first leg. Another clean sheet. Picked up another clean sheet on the weekend as Mariners defeated MacArthur 3-0 on Sunday afternoon. It's the defense has been looking so impressive of late. Here's a chance. Nice play forward. Nisbet goes across to Ballard. This counterattack is looking very nice. Docker is supporting on the right flank. The cutback has to be good. Who does he pick out? Ballard. Mariners continuing to build now. Nisbet in behind. Nice play. Barcelos. Nisbet trickles out for a goal kick. Nice movement there. Nice play. Nisbet involved. Docker down that right wing with his pace. And Mariners looking dangerous, especially on this counter-attack. So far, so good. Happy with the opening 20 minutes, man. Question here from Troy in the chat. If you guys have any questions or comments or anything, feel free to drop them in the live chat. Love discussing all these things with you guys. What are your thoughts on AFC nowadays? Personally, I think the game's become stale. Hey, look, I don't mind it. I jump on every now and then, play some career mode. That's the main mode I play. Manager mode. So, look, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Knicks fan says, only news I've heard from Canberra is that an EPL team is offering to cover some of their license. Crystal Palace, I think, but that's it. Interesting. I haven't heard that. That would be cool. That'd be cool if they had a link to a Premier League club. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I mean, hopefully just gets up and running, you know, ASAP. Because Auckland, I've already revealed their logo, their name, the jersey. They've already got a CEO, a coach, everyone. Just got to start signing some players, and you got a team. The rain continuing to fall over in India. A warm evening. To my memory, this is the first time Mariners are playing in India. If any hardcore Mariners fans want to correct me, go ahead. I don't recall Mariners ever playing a game in India. Very comfortable in possession, Central Coast Mariners tonight. and doing a good job of finding space up the pitch as well. Docker on the right. We love our little Brazilian Mikael Docker, who's been so impressive as this season's gone on. Signed early on in the off season. Brought in when Nick Montgomery was still at the club. Made his debut for the Mariners in the Australian Cup round of 32 fixture against Sydney FC. Has been played in midfields at right back and has done a really, really solid job every time he's played, especially in recent weeks, man. Oh, hey, I would love Garang Kual back at Central Coast Mariners. Do I think it will happen? I doubt it. You know, I'm sure he's... Let's come back to that. Here comes Mariners. Docker with a shot. Deflected wide. It's going to be another corner here for the Central Coast. Nice move. Hey, yeah, as I said, I would love Kual back. But I'm sure he's good enough to be, playing at a good level in Europe. We know that he hasn't been getting, heaps of game time in the Netherlands at loan at the moment. But, he's still so young. But I tell you what, if Mariners had the opportunity to bring back Garang on loan, they would jump at it. I'm sure of it, surely, right? His brother Alu is returned. We'd love Garang back as well. Torres goes down under the challenge. And the player who committed it doesn't seem to be too happy. Delgado. Tell you what, I don't know if there was too much contact there from Delgado. Yeah, Odisha defender who brought down Torres. But anyway, it's another set piece here for the Mariners. You get the sense here, if Mariners were to score a fifth, surely that would put it beyond any doubt. We've already played 24 minutes. A fifth goal. That's the tricky thing for Odisha. Hey, they have to chase this game. They have to score goals. But if they concede, all of a sudden the slope, the mountain, becomes a whole lot steeper. Ballard with the in-swinging delivery. Flicked away. That's got to be a corner. And is. So a string of set pieces here for the Mariners. Third corner of the match already. Docker set to take this out swinging delivery. This would be a great time to score, man. 25 minutes in. Ball is good. Edmondson was going for it, but it's headed away. Well defended. Nizzy. Defenders have still stayed forward here. Well, some of them at least. Mariners still in a good area of the pitch, but being patient here. Not rushing it, which is good. Composed in the attack, and soft foul given away there by Barcelus. Pressure relieved for Odisha. It's been a near perfect AFC Cup campaign for Central Coast Mariners, who enjoyed a pretty comfortable run in the group stage. Obviously, the only hiccup was on the opening match day of the group stage, where Mariners lost out to Terengganu, side from Malaysia, losing 1-0 on that occasion. But that was a funny period for the Mariners, where Nick Montgomery had departed the club just before that, and Mark Jackson hadn't even been signed at that point. Oh, challenge here made on Edmondson. That's got to be a foul. I'd love to see the replay. Well, referee's pointing at something. Is it a penalty? Have Mariners earned a penalty here? Or is it a free kick? Here's the replay. Nisbet with the ball through. Edmondson with his pace. It's a challenge. I tell you what, it was probably just outside the box. It was close. I tell you what, actually, it's probably just inside. Is it a pen? The ref was pointing 2 defenders went in for the challenge. Delgado committing the foul. Ryan Edmondson showing his pace, and it looks like Mariners have picked up a penalty, and it's going to be Mikael Doka, who slotted home a penalty in the first leg. He's been in superb goal-scoring form, Doka. 2 goals last week in the first leg. If he slots this home, surely Mariners are cruising through to the Inter-Zonal Finals. Mikael Doka. Steps up to the penalty spot. Oh my gosh, he hits the post. And the follow-up is missed. Mikael Doka striking the post clean. And it bounced straight back out. He was going for that right-hand side and hits the post. Well, for 2 consecutive games now, Mariners missing penalties. Torres missing on the weekend against MacArthur. And now Doka hitting the post here. Thankfully, the scoreboard means that it's not too disastrous. Mariners still with a 4-goal lead, but Doka scored a penalty for the Mariners last week. Couldn't do so here. Straight off that upright. It was almost too perfect, the penalty. You know what I mean? He was going for that post. He wanted to bounce it in. But it cannoned off the upright. Anyway, Mariners are still in the attack here. Look at the space through midfield. He is tapped, surely. Nisbet passing it through, and surely offside. Edmondson. He is indeed offside. The flag is up. Ryan Edmondson, who put away a pretty clean finish. So, as we approach the half-an-hour mark, 0-0 it remains in the second leg. Torres getting in behind once again here. The chances are starting to come thick and fast here for the Mariners. And even despite that missed penalty, you got to imagine that goal number 5 isn't too far away. G'day, Joshy. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Welcome to the stream. So, yet another set piece here for the Mariners, who are really starting to pile on the pressure here. Half an hour of football played. We've already had a missed penalty. Maxi Ballard, outswinger. Decent delivery. Nathan Paul getting up. Easy claim from the keeper. Right with you there, Troy. Getting closer to that 5th goal indeed. It's coming. It's coming. Victory Blade Crab says Joshy. Obviously, Joshy, a Melbourne Victory fan. What was the score? Actually, Joshy, the last time I checked, it was 2-2, right? It was 2-2. Let me quickly check the score, right? It was 2-2 in the end. There we go. And so my prediction was right. That was the prediction that we made. G'day, Harold. How to watch this match? This live match? You can watch on 10 Play. If you're in Australia, you can watch for free on 10 Play, which is great. They've showed all the AFC Cup games for the Australian sides on 10 Play. 2-2. Thanks for that, guys. Appreciate that. Joshy says Falami scored in economy. He's finally did something. Who scored the equaliser? I believe it was Garuccio. I just checked before. Garuccio. But there you go. 2-2. Another draw for victory, man. It's been the story of this season. They've just been drawing everything. And against last place Western United, they would have been hopeful to get 3 points, as they did last time. They left it late last time, you might remember, a few weeks ago. They ended up winning 2-1. Damien De Silva scoring 2 late goals. Held to a 2-2 draw this time. And look, credit to Western United, man. I mean, they're building some good form, aren't they? Winning against Wanderers last week. They beat Perth Glory, I think, the week before. They're all of a sudden mounting like a late, even though it's incredibly unlikely, a charge for the finals. Here's Edmondson in the box for Mariners. Barcelus in the box as well. Can't get the shot off. Tap to hit it. Fires wide. Brad Tap. Joshy says also Matt Sutton. Poor fella has played 8 games for all 3 Melbourne clubs. Has only has 11 appearances. 8 years. Yes, right. Yes, he's. You're right. Yeah, hey, he's been in all the Melbourne clubs, isn't he? And he's consistently a second or third choice goalkeeper, isn't he? 32 minutes played. Shot starts on the broadcast. Mariners with 7 shots. Odisha with just the 1. Another giveaway here. Cheap giveaway. Barcelus on the ball. Inside for Ballard. His touch is a bit heavy. And Odisha should be able to deal with this. So. Oh, poor play at the back by Odisha. Mariners are in behind you. Oh, surely. Well, what happened there? Ballard almost had too much time. And all of a sudden, Odisha up the other end of the pitch. Caltac has some defensive work to do. The pass is cut out and Mariners can drive forward. We haven't really called out the names of the Mariners defenders much tonight, eh? I haven't seen too much action. Mariners having to play out from the back here. Some pressure being applied by Odisha. Central Coast get the throw. Yes, Nama, indeed. Cy Goddard, former Central Coast Mariners player, indeed playing for Odisha. Spent a season at Mariners a couple of years ago. And looks like we're having a stoppage for a drinks break. Mark Jackson sternly talking to someone there. Not sure who he's talking to. But anyway, we've got a drinks break. Which is an interesting time for it to happen, considering that this isn't necessarily halfway through the half. We've got only over 10 minutes to play in the half. Usually they'll drop a drinks break around the 22-minute mark. 34 minutes in, 0-0. Comfortable so far for the Central Coast Mariners, who have managed some decent chances. And of course, the talk of the game so far, the penalty opportunity. Mikael Docker stepping up after Ryan Edmondson was brought down in the box. Docker, after scoring 2 goals against Odisha last week, unable to put it home. He hits the post. Thankfully, the score line, it still looks pretty favorable for the Mariners. If you guys want to support the channel, feel free to hit the like button on the stream. You can also consider sending through a super chat. Appreciate you guys being here as always. We dropped 2 videos today as well. Some big news coming out today. In case you missed it, Socceroos squad announced. Very exciting. Socceroos taking part in those 2 qualifying matches, World Cup qualifiers against Lebanon later on this month. And of course, the announcement, Auckland FC, the newest A-League club, revealing their name, their logo, their kit, their home kit at least. So 36 minutes have ticked by. We're definitely going to get a few minutes of injury time here with this drinks break. Yeah, I liked Cy as well. Cy Goddard was, as I mentioned before, he suffered a little bit from injuries during his time at Mariners, but he scored a few goals, didn't he? Yeah. We are back underway after that drinks break. Central Coast Mariners again playing out from the back under a bit more pressure now. Odisha weren't applying too much pressure in that first leg from memory. Mariners were pretty comfortable playing out from the back, but a little bit more pressure coming in now. Fair enough. Odisha are 4 goals down, and we'd love to get at least one before the break. And if they can't manage that, it's going to be very difficult for them to do so in the second half. Central Coast doing a good job after a long trip over to India to be showing up here and putting in a good performance, and not only looking good defensively, but playing some good football moving forward in attack. Brad Tapp, middle of the pitch, switches it out. A long ball doesn't quite find Torres. Back in possession, Tapp. Interesting question from Namar. Do you think this Western Sydney Wanderers team this season is a downgrade to last season? Interesting question. Yes, and I tell you what, it's still a good squad. My answer to your question, Namar, is yes, but it's still a good team that should be playing final football. There's no question about that. You look at the players they have, the experience they have, it's good. But yeah, I mean, I guess like you look at how well the team did last year. They're probably disappointed to finish 4th. Obviously very disappointed to get knocked out in the elimination finals last year, Wanderers, hey. But you look at those players, maybe it's just because of what they've gone on to do, but like Neuenhoff, who's obviously killing it over at Hearts at the moment in Scotland. Who else do they have that isn't there anymore? Tommy Machella was very, very good last year for Wanderers as well. They probably would love him back at the club. Chance here. Edmondson, Torres in the box shooting. What a block. Defensive desperation by the home team. Still a chance here. Edmondson, it's bobbling around. Nisbet edge of the box. Joshy Nisbet still going. And again, Odisha just get the numbers and scramble it clear. Yes, thanks for that, chat. Schneiderlin, Layuni, Amalfitano. I mean, there you go. You mentioned some of the names that Wanderers had last year. Yes, the answer is yes. I think Wanderers had a stronger team last year. Joshy asks, did Vukovic used to play for another A-League team like Sydney, or am I thinking of another Vukovic? Joshy, your instincts are correct, my friend. Yeah, Danny Vukovic played for Sydney FC, Melbourne Victory, Wellington Phoenix, Perth Glory as well. And of course, started his A-League career at the Mariners and now probably ending his A-League career at the Central Coast Mariners. So, yes, Vukovic, one of the most successful goalkeepers in the A-League, over 100 clean sheets. And Bakoto as well, Cassini Yengi. There you go. Yeah. So, I mean, you look at the team that Wanderers have this year, Nama, and it's still a good team. I think Brolante is still a good player. Jorrit Hendricks was a class signing as well. He's been good this year. They've brought in Sonny Kittle, who I think is still maybe getting up to scratch in the A-League. He's only recently arrived. Marcus Antonsen scored a few goals this season as well. It's a good team. It's a good team, but just lacking a little bit, isn't it? Lacking something. As Troy mentions as well, Clisby, another new player who arrived at Wanderers this season. Chance here for the Mariners. Numbers are forward. Pass from Dockers just offline. It's been cleared away. Going back to that Vukovic discussion. He had a stint overseas. Indeed, he did. Yes, in I think it was Switzerland. Can't recall where the exact club that he played for. I think it was in Switzerland or somewhere in Europe. He played for a period there, Vukovic, before returning to the Mariners. Nathan Paul, Torres, Mariners. I've done a lot of this evening. Just like patiently building up an attack, waiting for the right moment. Possession stats are surely favouring Mariners, you'd imagine. It's felt like it at least. Central Coast Mariners, they've got 1 foot in the Inter-Zonal Finals. It was Belgium that he played. Was that right? There you go. Thank you for that correction, Troy. Here's a chance. Torres is going to hit it. And again, it's blocked away for yet another corner for the Mariners. Fall, the centre back for Odisha FC, making the block once again. Nama, a great question, big question. Do you think Terry Antonis' goal against Western Sydney Wanderers is better than McGree's scorpion kick? Obviously, that has been the talk of the town this week across the A-League. Terry Antonis with an incredible goal. Do I think it's better than McGree's scorpion kick? I don't think so. I think McGree's scorpion kick is still number one. But Antonis' long-range goal on Tuesday, for me, it's spilled by the goalkeeper, and they still managed to clear. Sorry, I thought Mariners were about to score there. Sorry, just go back to that Antonis goal. It's top 5 of all time in the A-League for me. It was incredible. I remember I was watching the game, and I couldn't believe it. When he went for a shot, I was like, what is he doing? And then you just saw it just loop in, and I'm like, oh my goodness, he actually did. And the story behind it too. I mean, the fact that he scored it against Wanderers, where he just couldn't get a game last year, He barely played the season prior at Wanderers, and he shows up to them and scores an absolute bomb from 45 meters. Vukovic played for Genk FC. There we go. From Belgium. Thanks for that, Troy. Odisha, just with a little opportunity there a moment ago. Didn't manage to get the shot off, but showed that they do have some threat. But the likes of Krishna, Goddard, up forward, haven't quite had the opportunities tonight. Here's a chance. Nisbet switching it. Looking for Docker. Mikael Docker will track it backwards. A few minutes remaining in this half. 44 minutes played. We're going to have a few minutes of injury time too, because we had the drinks break. And at halftime, we're going to play some griddle. So stick around for halftime. We'll play some griddle. Have a bit of a Q&A in the chat if you guys have any questions or discussion points that are on your mind. Stick around for halftime. It's been a good game so far. 0-0. Mariners certainly with most of the opportunities. Odisha really struggling to get any sort of attacking momentum. Constantly having to track back and defend. There we go. I've got our griddle ready to go for halftime. So 2 minutes added on here. So not too much. Edmondson looking to break away once again. He's got some decent pace for a guy who's pretty tall. And a bit of a coming together with one of the defenders here. Edmondson's not happy. And he's been booked. Edmondson's been booked here. And I imagine it's for the... I don't know what you can call it. He didn't really lash out at the defender. And now there's a bit of a conversation with some of the Odisha players and Edmondson. Having a look at the replay, I mean, Ryan Edmondson did really well to break free of the defenders. But there was a bit of a push. I'm not sure what happened here. Well, that was interesting. So one of the Odisha defenders kicked the ball into Edmondson when he was on the ground. Not sure if that was intentional or anything, but there was... Edmondson just sort of rips him. There's nothing really... I don't think there's any malice in that. He was just trying to get around the defender. Just trying to push him away to the side so he could get past him. Anyway. Yellow card for Ryan Edmondson. Halftime whistle is about to ring. Mariners will be happy with how this game's proceeding so far. Odisha looking to hit on the counter-attack here. Pass from Cy Goddard, can't link up with Krishna, and that will surely now take us to the halftime whistle. Central Coast Mariners 0, Odisha FC 0 in the second leg, but the Mariners holding a 4-goal advantage on aggregate after winning the first leg 4-0 at home. Mikael Docker missing a penalty in this first half. He'll be disappointed with that. But fortunately for the Mariners, man, the scoreline is looking good for them. 45 minutes away from the Inter-Zonal Finals. And what's happening here? Now, this is interesting. Whoa, dude. There's a real coming together between the coaches. Mark Jackson involved. There's a massive melee breaking out. Oh, my goodness. There is a huge melee breaking out between the coaching staff, the players. Well, that's what Mark Jackson was getting upset about before. The Odisha manager is really riled up. It's cooling down now, but this is just boiled over. Danny Vukovic involved, players involved. That was bizarre. What happened there? There's not a lot of context because we're just seeing it break out now. But Mark Jackson, manager of the Mariners and the head coach of Odisha, were almost head-to-head there. Wow. Truly bizarre. That's not something you often see. Tension's boiling. It's something that, I mean, we saw it in the AFC Cup match between MacArthur and Mariners a few weeks ago, where it got a bit heated after full time, but it's only half time and everyone's getting a bit upset. But Mariners don't have much to be upset about. Still looking pretty comfortable. 4-goal lead on aggregate. Let's jump into some griddle, shall we? This is a bit of halftime entertainment. Griddle. For those that don't know, griddle is the play guessing game, and we're going to test our A-League knowledge here today. All right. So we are looking for players who have played for Wanderers, Adelaide, Victory, Brisbane, players who have won Player of the Season at their club and managed any A-League men's team. Oh, does that mean like a player who has played for that club and also just managed a team in the A-League? That's cool. That's cool. By the way, they've just shown the stats on the broadcast here. Mariners with 10 shots, just the one on target. Apparently no shots for Odisha in that first half. Mariners just edging it in possession as well. So let's jump into this. Let's see how we go. So managed any A-League teams, A-League men's team. So I assume that means that it's like a player who's played for that club and also managed a team. So for Victory, I could go Kevin Muscat, right? Unless I'm misunderstanding the question. No, that's correct. A player who has played for Brisbane and managed a club. Warren Moon, right? Warren Moon played for Brisbane back in the day. There we go. Now, this is interesting. So, a player who won Player of the Season, this bottom left one's going to be the tricky one. We're looking for a player who is won Player of the Season at the club and has also managed an A-League side. I don't know. Ruben Zadkovic might have won it at Newcastle, maybe. Surely there's some other... Tony Popovich, maybe. Marco Redan. John Aloisi, maybe. Would he have won it at Sydney or Mariners or maybe Melbourne Heart? Surely there's a more obvious one that we can think of there. Patrick Isnorbo. This is a really tricky one. I'll tell you what, we're going to come back to that. We'll come back to that. We'll finish off the other ones because this should be pretty straightforward. Player of the Season at Wanderers. These are the ones I always get stuck on. I'm going to go Goodwin here for Adelaide. That surely is pretty straightforward. Player of the Season at Wanderers. Goodness. Who can we go for there? I mean, that's the one thing that I don't really keep track of too closely. I know who wins Player of the Season my club, the Mariners, obviously. But looking for a player who's picked up the Player of the Season award at Wanderers, I'm tempted to go like Topos Stanley. Nikolai Topos Stanley, who was at the club for a few years. And maybe like Mark Bridge. Maybe Mark Bridge, who was there in those first few seasons. Like who would have won it last year? Maybe Borello. Maybe Neuenhoff, though. I mean, too many options. Maybe Marcelo. I tell you what, I'm going to go Topos Stanley here. I'm just having a stab in the dark. Yeah, we got it. Cool. Okay. All right. Let's smash out these other ones as well. Player who's played for Wanderers and Melbourne Victory. Tommy Urich has played for both. Player who's played for Wanderers and Brisbane Roar. We can go. There's plenty there. Stephen Lustica. Player who's played for Adelaide and Melbourne Victory. A bit more of a niche one here. Nathan Kostandopoulos. Nathan, am I thinking of the right one? Nathan Kostandopoulos. Player who's played for both Brisbane and Adelaide. Again, there's probably been heaps, hey. Ben Halloran. Currently at Adelaide, played for Brisbane a long time ago. Can we get 9 out of 9 here? We're looking for a player who is one player of the season and has also managed an A-League club. And some of the ideas we've got is like the likes of Tony Popovich, John Aloisi, maybe Marco Rudan. I don't know, man. But surely I'm like missing someone obvious. Tony Popovich. Would Tony Popovich have won player of the season? I don't know if he played for that long, man. I'm inclined to go for John Aloisi, but I don't reckon he would have won player of the season. If I can't think of anyone else, I'm just going to go John Aloisi. I'm curious to see the answers, though. I'm sure there's not many. We're going to go John Aloisi. Here we go. Oh, we missed. Let's have a look at the answers here for this one. Grant Brebner, Richard Garcia, Mark Milligan. Has Mark Milligan managed an A-League side? Has Mark Milligan managed an A-League side? What? Mark Milligan is currently assistant coach at Adelaide United. To my knowledge, has never managed an A-League club. Mark Milligan. Did he manage an A-League club? Anyway. Carl Vett, Robbie Fowler, Robbie Middleby, Kevin Muscat. Damn, man. We missed out on that one. 8 out of 9 in griddle today. Let me know how you guys went if you played. Troy said I had Fowler. That's the one I didn't think of. And that's what I was meaning when I was like, I feel like there's someone more obvious that I should have gone for. Robbie Fowler, yeah, man. Yeah. Grant Brebner, bottom left, yeah. I wouldn't have picked him out to have won player of the season, though. That's surprising. Mike MacArthur is interim. Mark Milligan, when York was controversially sacked. Is that right? I believe you, Troy. That probably sounds right. It sounds right. So there's our griddle for today, ladies and gentlemen. We did okay. But slipped on one. We slipped on one. So, second half. Moments away. Central Coast Mariners 0. Odisha FC 0. Mariners lead 4 goals on aggregate. Thanks to that wonderful performance in the first leg. If you guys have any comments or questions on anything A-Leagues, Australian football, AFC Cup, let us know. Drop them in the chat. Appreciate you guys being here as always. Bit of a scuffle at the end of that half, which we don't really want to see as well. And again, I'm just like confused as to like why that happened. So in case you missed it, there was a big coming together between the two coaches of both teams, Mark Jackson and the head coach of Odisha FC, were all of a sudden face to face as they were walking down the tunnel. And Mark Jackson was almost gesturing for him to like come down the tunnel with him. I mean, it was bizarre. Especially bizarre to see Jackson. We haven't really seen Jackson rolled up like that before. I mean, we're in a comfortable position winning 4-0. You know, there's no point doing anything silly. A lot of players had to get involved as well. Christian Theoharis had to run in and separate his own manager from getting involved in a bit of a scuffle there. So anyway, hopefully it's all cleared up and both managers are cooled off for the second half. Mariners just have to get the job done here in the remaining 45 minutes. Joshy says they probably just need to have a chat, and your coach wanted to calm the situation down. Yeah, man, and like earlier on, actually in the half, I remember during that drinks break, Mark Jackson was like, we couldn't see who he was talking to, but he was talking to someone pretty passionately, and he just assumed it was like one of his players or something. But no, it must have been the opposition manager, dude. So who knows what happened there? But it's just really bizarre, especially at like halftime too. It's usually something you might see at full time. Tensions boil over a little bit, but you know, really weird. Anyway. Substitutes on the pitch, warming up for the second half. It'll be interesting to see if Mariners do make any rotations for the second half at the halftime break. Good news for the Mariners is that they don't have any short turnarounds. 2.5 week break after this match. Next game for the Mariners is on the 30th of March away to Sydney FC. Looking to maintain their spot on the top of the ladder, which they might fall off the top. Of course, Wellington Phoenix play Sydney FC actually this weekend. If Wellington grab at least a point, they will jump back to the top of the ladder. It's been a pretty gripping premiership race between Wellington Phoenix and Central Coast Mariners this season, hasn't it? It's Wellington who've been leading the race, but Mariners just catching them this weekend after defeating MacArthur 3-0. Have Mariners got enough to hold on and beat Wellington to that Premier's plate? Mariners haven't won a Premier's plate in a long time. Would love to do it. Troy asks, are you doing another stream for tomorrow night's game? Not tomorrow night, but we'll be doing one for Saturday night. Yeah, so feel free to join us on Saturday. Primetime game. It's Perth Glory, Western Sydney Wanderers. And not often that we get Perth Glory home games at like primetime on the east coast of Australia, that is. And it's going to be a fun game to watch because you've got a Glory side who are, playing all right at the moment. Need to get some more results to, push them towards the top six. But they're coming up hosting a Wanderers side who are just struggling so much at the moment. And, really curious to see what Western Sydney Wanderers do in this next game. Who do they field? We saw in that midweek fixture on Tuesday, Wanderers coach Marco Rodan brought off 5 players at halftime, which I don't think I've ever seen before in a football match. Anyway. So good, Troy. We'll see you there, man. So very keen for that one. Glory, Wanderers, Saturday night. We've already had one A-League fixture for the round. Be played tonight. Western United 2, Melbourne Victory 2. Stalemate in that Victorian derby. And then tomorrow night, Newcastle Jets host Adelaide United. That should be a fun game to watch. In my prediction video this week, I said there could be goals in that one. 2 of the more leaguey defenses in the league. And then we've got a few games on Saturday this weekend in the A-League. Wellington hosts Sydney FC. Brisbane hosts MacArthur at Ballymore Stadium. First time the Raw are playing out of Ballymore Stadium in the A-League men's this season. And then, of course, that Saturday night primetime fixture, Perth Glory, Central Coast Mariners. Sorry, Perth Glory, Western Sydney Wanderers, rather. Teams are back out on the pitch for the second half. Just on that situation here, comment here from Joshy on that Rudan situation. Anyway, here's Mark Jackson. Let's just keep an eye on this. Mark Jackson is returned to the bench, and he looks a bit more relaxed compared to when we last saw him, which is good to see. Hopefully everything's all good for the second half. But anyway, as Joshy says here, I can imagine that Rudan being totally confused at the performance at halftime. Not always the coach's fault. And as Joshy says here, it looked like City were playing FIFA. It was that easy for them, wasn't it? I mean, they were just slicing through Wanderers at every attack. They did such a good job. Melbourne City. And look, when they're going, Melbourne City, when they get going, they're hard to stop. It's not the first time this season that they've scored a number of goals. The problem for Melbourne City has just been inconsistent. You know, they'll win by a massive scoreline, and then they'll lose the next week. You don't know what you're going to get. So Odisha are returning to their home stadium to the pitch for the second half. Central Coast Mariners lead 4-0 on aggregate after an impressive win at home last week. Doesn't look like there's any fresh faces on the pitch for Mariners for the second half, but I'm sure we will see some changes made during the second period. Mark Jackson again. The cameras are on him. He was involved in a bit of a coming together at the end of the first half. And the referee's just having a chat to him as well as... And now there's yellow cards being shown to both managers here. In fact, it's not Odisha's manager. It's another one of the coaching staff. Very interesting. Very interesting. Anyway, good to see that the referee's taking some action here. He's just controlled the situation because it did look like it was getting a little bit out of hand there at halftime. But anyway, we are finally set to get underway for the second half of football. AFC Cup Inter-Zonal Semi-Final here. Odisha FC of India. Central Coast Mariners, of course, from Australia. A-League champions. And potentially AFC Cup champions if we keep up this form, man. Can we do it? Can we get through to the Inter-Zonal finals and then the final itself after that? After tonight, Mariners would be 3 games away from the trophy, which is pretty surreal to think, man. I mean, it would be huge if we could go all the way and win it. We finally have kickoff for the second half. Mariners getting us underway in the second period. Good to see Fortnite Troll in the chat. I've been well, mate. Thank you for asking. Thanks for checking in. Hope you're doing well as well. Good to see you here. So, all eyes on Odisha FC now. They need to score goals. They need to score fast. They need a goal really early on in the second half. If they want to really have any hope of qualifying for the next stage. But their AFC Cup run is set to come to an end here tonight. With the way it's trending. No worries, Joshy. Catch you in the next one, mate. Of course, our next stream in just 2 days' time. We're going to be live for the Perth Glory Western Sydney Wanderers game. Saturday night, A-League prime time. So, Mariners setting up in the same fashion that they did in that first half. That defensive 4-4-2 block. Edmondson and Nisbet running the show at the top, proving to creating a pretty solid partnership, aren't they? Ryan Edmondson scoring a hat-trick in the AFC Cup against Phnom Penh Crown a little while ago. In the zonal semi-final. Dan Hall and Cy Goddard coming together there. 2 players who were good mates when Cy was at the Mariners a few years ago. Trying to get in behind here. Odisha once again looking to create a shot. Create an opportunity here. They've really struggled to do so this match. Troy says, I find it funny that Bajic, as is Bajic, Socceroos left back as is Bajic, plays with Ronaldo at Al Nassr. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that dressing room. Yeah, man, it's pretty cool, isn't it, to have our own Aziz Bajic playing alongside obviously one of the top players in world football. Very cool. Space in the middle of the park. Barcelos, Edmondson. Great chance, Mariners. The pass from Edmondson is a bit wayward, but Central Coast maintained possession. And again, it's quite clear from the Mariners that the intention is to not rush things here. They get forward into a good area, but they don't go for the killer blows too quickly. Meanwhile, here come Odisha. Roy Krishna showing his pace. This is a good move. And there's the shot. And the chance on the follow-up. Well, it's going to be brought back. The flag is up, I believe. But a little warning sign there. Roy Krishna, great run through the middle. It must have been that pass that was offside. Just great call by the linesman. Danny Vukovic had to stretch for that one, didn't he? He's barely been tested across these two legs, Danny Vukovic. We've got a touch of the ball there. Wouldn't have counted anyway, of course. Mikael Docker. So much space here for the Mariners. Like moving up in the middle of the pitch, there is so much space. And surely Odisha FC have to try and plug these gaps because we're seeing Docker, Brad Tapp, Ballard, they're finding these pockets of space where they can just drive it forward. Troy says Krishna's still got it. Would love for him to go to Auckland. Be great to have him back in the alley, that's for sure. Left-hand side here, Torres with a bit of space. What does he do? Goes for the cross, but it's blocked. Five minutes into this second half. And it's proceeding pretty similarly to that first half. Odisha looking a little bit more adventurous, though. This is a good play. It breaks down there for the Mariners, but they'll get the throw. Odisha have had to do much more defending than attacking, which is probably not what they were hoping for in this game. But they got to try and change something up. I'm not sure what it is, but they got to do something different here, Odisha, just to get themselves back into this game and give themselves an opportunity. But you can sense just from watching them, you can sense that, that they really are trying to be, they're wary of letting the Mariners in behind here. So they're in a tricky situation, whereas like how much attacking can we do without leaving ourselves vulnerable at the back? Mariners will be pretty happy with how this is going so far. Torres feeding it through. Ballard has made a run in behind here. Gone for that back heel. I like the idea. Torres wasn't on the same wavelength, though. Still bouncing around. Whistle's been blown now, though. The goal's coming for Mariners. You just feel it. They've had enough chances here. Plenty of set pieces as well. Like, racking up the corners in that first half, the Mariners. Oh, a bit of a high boot there from Roy Krishna. In fact, sorry, it's Kautak on Krishna. And Krishna's gone down in a bit of pain. Replay. Oh, dude, that doesn't look good. That does not look good. Roy Krishna copping the hip of Brian Kautak. Two players, from what we saw at the end of that first leg, know each other pretty well. They were having a good chat after full time in the first leg in Gosford. So, long-range free kick for Odisha, away by Caltac. Mariners can hit on the counter if they want to. Torres does well to maintain possession. Brought down by that challenge. Bit of a dangerous tackle. And Torres, not for the first time in his Mariners career, getting a little bit emotional there and almost getting caught up. And sort of a bit of a funny moment. Brad Tapp sort of reeling him back there, holding him back. Good to see from young Brad Tapp. Anyway, here's the ball at the other end of the pitch. Barcelos with a shot blocked. Nisbet picks up possession. Again, Mariners choosing to be patient here, despite being in a really promising area of the pitch. Good forward ball, but again, it's a bit poor in the final product. Krishna brought down here, and he says, "Get up." Looked like it looked like a foul to me, to be fair. Anyway, we play on. Dan Hall's driving forward here for the Mariners into the box. What a run by Hall. And he's on the corner, has he? No. Troy says, I love Torres. He's been a great recruitment. He is powerful, fast, and good at getting in behind. Also very passionate. Very passionate. We always love to see that. We want our players to play for the badge, play with passion. And Torres does that. And I'm right with you there, Troy. He's been fantastic for the Mariners this season. And he's been in the box. Mariners, great position once again. Cleared away for a throw. Yeah, Angel Torres, he took a little bit to get going, didn't he? Took a little bit just to get clicking. Same can be said for Mikael Docker, some of our new players that we brought in this year. But once they got going, man, they've been unreal. Docker and Torres have been two of our better players this season. Brad Tapp, 55 minutes played. Central Coast Mariners pretty eager to get this fifth goal, just to seal things up. Odisha making the first substitution of the game. 10 minutes into this second half. Princeton coming on for the home team. Change in midfield. Barcelos surely brought down there. He was by Jerry, the left back. Nicely done by Barcelos. Certainly a foul. Troy says, yep, Docker's getting better and better. Clearly very smart on the ball. Always good to have attack-minded players. We love Mikael Docker. So this free kick opportunity coming out wide. You got Max Ballard standing over it. You got the tall timber to aim for in Edmondson, Hall, Caltac. Looks like Torres is offering the left-footed option as well. Ballard to deliver. Ball is good. Oh my goodness. Ronald Barcelos was flying in with a karate kick. Looks like it's been headed behind for a corner. What an effort, dude. Lucky not to catch the defender with his boot, Barcelos there. Almost got to that. Another set-piece opportunity. And Mikael Docker throws up a shuckers, whatever that means. In corner language. Oh, that's great play. Docker in behind. Oh, what a chance. Well, the offside flag's gone up anyway. Must have been from the 1-2 from Docker. He threw up the shuckers when he went to take the corner. And had the short option there. So, Mariners so close to fighting the breakthrough in the second leg. Yeah, Troy, you're right. That was Matt Simon's classic goal celebration, throwing up the shuckers. The replays are showing that offside call was correct. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was like Matt Simon being like, hey, like, you know, they've obviously got like the different calls with set pieces, like one arm up, two arms up. You know, what else do you see? Sometimes you see like across the chest or, you know, different arm movements. But the shuckers, and maybe Matt Simon was like, they're running out of like hand signals. Like, what should we do for this one? It's like, oh, let's just do a shuckers. That's just to honor Matt Simon, you know. Love it. Looks like Mariners are preparing a couple of changes. 2 yellow jerseys on the sideline. Here come Odisha FC, though, in the meantime. Princeton, the substitute, swinging it out wide, and Vukovic ends up in possession. Quick release. Edmondson's in behind. Has it out wide, needs some help. Ryan Edmondson, one-on-one with Fall, the big centre-back. Brad Tapp going for the shot, always rising. And now the substitutions will be made for the Mariners. Bit ambitious, that shot from Brad Tapp. Might well be his last involvement too. It is Brad Tapp is coming off, as well as Barcelos. DiPizio coming on, as well as Harry Steele. Two promising young players who have come through the Mariners Academy. Harry Steele only recently returning from injury. Miguel DiPizio's had a good season for the Mariners. Probably a breakout season, you could say. Probably hoping to add some more goals to his tally so far, but I like what DiPizio has shown so far this season. So as we approach the hour mark, fresh faces on for the Central Coast Mariners in that midfield area. DiPizio playing off that right-hand side. Steele will join Max Ballard in the middle. Nisbet. Good pass forward for DiPizio. His first touch of the football. Lays it back off for Nisbet. Left-footed deliveries all right towards Edmondson. Oh, my goodness. What a chance. English striker with a great opportunity, and it was an air swing, really, wasn't it? Far post. I tell you what, the left-footed cross from Nisbet was delightful. And you can see Edmondson's not happy with how he took that chance. The replay. Oh, my goodness, what a chance. What an opportunity. He did get a touch, but he completely scuffed it. A shame. A real shame. Again, Mariners a chance to break forward. DiPizio. I like that pass. It's got Torres in space. Ball in behind, and again, it doesn't work out. Gee whiz. I'll tell you what, man. It's going to be incredible if Mariners finish this game without scoring a goal here tonight. This is chance after chance. Getting in behind so many times. And again, like the big thing that I've noticed is just the space that's showing up in this midfield area. So many times. There's just freedom for Mariners just to drive through. And again, look, they're winning it. Odisha are pretty keen to go through the middle of the park. Mariners keep cutting it off. Mariners are certainly dominating that aspect of the game, that midfield area. So with less than half an hour remaining, with every minute that ticks by, and as the scoreline stays like this, the AFC Cup dream slips away for Odisha FC, and Central Coast Mariners can start dreaming of the AFC Cup final, just 3 games away from lifting the trophy. Odisha. This is a good play from them. Trying to get behind. Let's head it out for a corner. The home team with a corner here. Yeah, Troy, I'm right with you there, man. I definitely thought we would have scored by now with the number of chances Mariners have had this game. But now Odisha with an opportunity. Odisha going to make another change here. Get some more fresh legs on the pitch. If Odisha can score here, I mean, this is a big moment for them. They haven't had many set-piece opportunities. But if the home team can score here, it might just be something for them to create a platform off. Good defensive header there, I think, from Paul. Mariners can counter here. Nisbet's away. Got Torres ahead of him. Joshy Nisbet just out-muscled there in the end. Well defended. Odisha will start again here from the back. Appreciate you guys tuning into this live watch along tonight. Been enjoying the Mariners in their run in the AFC Cup. If you want to support the channel and the stream, you can hit the like button. You can also consider sending through a super chat. Cy Goddard trying to get him behind down the right for the Odisha FC. Dan Hall quickly shuts that down though. "65 minutes played. Still, it remains scoreless in the second leg. DiPizio. Can't find a teammate. Odisha starting to commit more numbers forward here. You can see Mariners starting to sit a little bit deeper. Not pressing as intensely. Of course, the conditions might be playing a part. Hot conditions in India at the moment. 34 degrees upon kickoff. It even started raining. Looks like the rain has eased off, though. Long swish of play. Odisha looking to try and find a route through. They've struggled to do so tonight. And that's credit to the Mariners and how well organised they've been across defence and midfield. Two changes made by Mariners about 5 or 6 minutes ago. Still got some options on the bench. Ali Kowal's an option. Bailey Brantman. Long ball now for Odisha. Krishna trying to get his head on it. Flicks it down for a teammate. Heavy challenge from Caltech. Referees see it as a clean challenge. No foul. DiPizio, you can see, has the time and space just to walk it forward. And that's a rare mistake by Josh Nisbet, who let that ball slide out of play. Couldn't control it. Yeah, it's a collector's item. A Josh Nisbet error. Central Coast Mariners not in much of a rush now, knocking it around the back. And with the game, heavy coming together there. We're going to play on. Dan Hall, I think, caught the opposition player. Torres in possession. Back for Docker. Torres out in this right wing now. So Delgado, the defender from Odisha, is on the wrong end of that tackle from Dan Hall. I think it was accidental contact. Still no goals indeed. Mariners have definitely come close on a number of occasions, but it remains scoreless in the second leg. Odisha. Again, you can see pretty keen to commit more numbers forward. I wonder what Cy Goddard must be thinking, man, coming up against the team he used to play at all the way in Australia, playing them in the AFC Cup. What are the chances? Well, as Odisha continue to push players forward, the spaces are going to open up for Mariners to score on the counter-attack here. But again, another opportunity, even just then, like for the Mariners to go, but they haven't really taken that chance. When they maybe could have. That's a good through ball, though, from Steele. Nisbet, 1-on-1 with Fall. Good challenge. Nisbet's still going, though. Well done. Who does he find? Or does he go himself? Nisbet. Headed away in the end. As Harry Steele. DiPizio looking for that delivery. Edmondson sliding in. Cleared away. But you could see how easy it was for Mariners just to rebound there. I mean, Odisha tried to clear it out, and there seems to be a massive gap between Odisha's attacking players and then sort of the midfielders and defenders who are dropping real deep. And here we go. Mariners preparing another double change. Christian Theoharis and Jing Reese, the two players set to come on. Mariners proving to have very good depth this season. Plenty of options across the park. Edmondson and Torres coming off. So Max Ballard with a corner. Goalkeeper challenged. DiPizio was up contesting for it. Didn't quite work out. Looks like it's going to be another corner, though. Another Max Ballard corner. I'd be interested to see the corner stats, man. We must be getting close to double digits, hey? Troy asks who scores our fifth goal. Wouldn't be great to see one of the subs score with their first touch. They just came on, Theo Harris and Jing Reese. Do we even get this fifth goal, man? We might just have to hold on to the 0-0. Oh, heavy challenge there. Theo Harris has gone down. Now, this is going to be interesting. Could this be a red, dude? It's going to be a yellow. It's going to be a yellow. But I mean, we didn't get a good angle on it. We saw it straight on. Didn't look good. Here's the replay. Oh, man. I mean, that's not a clear angle on these replays. Jeez, man. The studs might have been up there. Ranawade, the right back for Odisha, flying in on Theo Harris. Dangerous challenge. Dangerous. Anyway, yellow card is the decision, and we play on. Theo Harris is okay. DiPizio in behind. Can't find a teammate. But our updated lineups here on the graphic. Jing Reese playing up the top alongside Nisbet now. Christian Theoharis on that left-hand side. DiPizio playing off the right. So fresh legs across midfield and up top. Mariners still with one more change up their sleeve. Got the likes of Alu Kowal and Bailey Brantman who could still come on as well. Odisha have almost but completely run out of time, eh? 73 minutes played. Good evening, A-League. How you going? Good to see you here in the live chat. Docker driving forward. He's got players ahead of him. Great chance here for the Mariners to finally break the deadlock. Theoharis is there. Good save by the keeper. Great move, Mariners, and finally getting the shot off after their attacks were starting to break down a little bit recently. But Theoharis, who's just come on, probably disappointed that he couldn't do more to test the keeper a little bit. Opted to go for that near post corner. Full-time prediction, I'll tell you what, at this rate, it could well be 0-0. I don't think Mariners are going to be able to find this goal, but that's okay. They've got the lead on aggregate. Could Mariners find it here, though? Ballard, yet another corner. Delivery towards Caltac. Goal kick. Set piece after set piece, but Mariners unable to find the goal. And to be fair, I feel like in a different match, if this wasn't, a two-legged match where Mariners already have a 4-goal lead, Mariners might have already had a goal. Maybe might have showed a bit more urgency. There you go. They've just showed the corner stats on the broadcast. 10 corners for the Mariners. Odisha with just the one, which just sums up how dominant it's been for the Mariners. Docker. Bit of a bizarre delivery there. Not sure who he was going for. Gives Odisha a chance to counterattack. A long ball here. They're looking for Krishna. We know Roy Krishna has pace, but so does Brian Caltac. Well done, Krishna. He's somehow won that and has kept it in. Ball comes in, bouncing around. They're asking for handball, and referees aren't interested. Dude, of course, no VAR. Nathan Paul saying that it hit his midriff, and Roy Krishna's just collapsed on the ground. Having a look at the replay, I mean, Krishna, fantastic to win that duel against Caltac. Here's the replay. Did it strike the hand? Nah, definitely hit him in the stomach. Definitely. Back in Mariners for a nice solid 1-0 win. Hopefully we can come away with a win here. To grab just at least a goal would be nice. I think we deserve it. Mariners have shown enough to deserve a goal. Yeah, I'm right with you there, Troy. Definitely looked like it hit the chest or the midriff there of Paul. They're showing that replay again. Yeah, definitely hit the middle of his shirt. From Krishna's perspective, it probably looked like it hit his arm. Drinks break here after 77 minutes of football. 34 degrees upon kickoff. Local time at the stadium. Interesting to see that they've been doing the drinks breaks like late on in the halves. I think both halves they've been like with like 15 minutes to go. They've had a drink break, which is I don't know. In the A-League, we usually see them like in the middle of the half, so like around like 22 minutes, in the first half or whatever. Thanks for dropping your snack of choice, Troy. We always love hearing the random football snacks that people are enjoying while they're enjoying the football. Snack of choice tonight for me, it's Maltesers. Love it, Troy. Dude, I haven't had Maltesers in ages. Now I want some Maltesers, man. Yeah, Maltesers. They're good, dude. They're good. The problem is, though, you put a bowl of Maltesers in front of me, and they're gone pretty quickly. All right. 78 minutes have been played, ladies and gentlemen. And I think it's a bit of a weird one. There's no sort of sudden celebration that Mariners can sort of it's not like we have to like score a winning goal to qualify through. We just have it's a slow burn, this celebration that Mariners qualifying through for the next stage. It seems to be inevitable at this rate. 79 minutes have ticked by. It's 4-0 on aggregate, Mariners lead, and it's going to take an absolute miracle for Odisha FC to keep the AFC Cup dream going from here. So look, I'm not fussed if we don't score tonight. I'll take the 0-0 to keep the clean sheet. I think traveling away to India, the big trip. To keep a clean sheet here, I think would be an admirable, achievement. But more importantly, we're qualifying for the next stage of the AFC Cup, man, and we're 3 games away from lifting the trophy, which is awesome, man. And now, I mean, a lot of people have asked the question and posed the question, can Mariners, and before it was MacArthur as well, can these teams, these A-League teams, win this tournament, win the AFC Cup? It's a serious possibility now. Mariners have to be aiming for the trophy now. They've gone so far. How many games has this been now up? Total now for Mariners in the AFC Cup. We've had 6 in the group stage. 1 against Phnom Penh, 1 against MacArthur, and then the 2 here against Odisha. This is our 10th game, right? Is my math right there? The 10th game in the AFC Cup. Yeah, that's right. It's going to take 13 games to win the whole thing. So next up after this, Mariners are going to qualify for the Inter-Zonal Finals. And again, that's going to be 2 legs, home and away. And again, it's going to be a busy schedule. Mariners will be playing those matches through April. So it's going to be really tricky scheduling the remaining fixtures for the Mariners. Considering that the A-League schedule is already pretty busy as it is. And then the final, the interesting thing as well is that the final for the AFC Cup, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is scheduled for the 5th of May. And that is like the same week as the A-League elimination finals. So it's looking real busy for that whole period of time. I wonder whether they would. I don't know. They could. It's gonna be tricky for them to reschedule A-League finals. Like an elimination final. Well, at this rate, Mariners won't be playing elimination finals. They'll be straight through to the semis. So it might work out. Anyway, plenty of time and football to be played till then. 82 minutes have been played. That's a poor clearance there for a Caltac. There's also all of a sudden a half chance here for Odisha, if they can get it through. Princeton for Odisha. His pass goes out of play. So, 13 games. That's half an A-League season. Dude, Troy, that's a good point. That's a good point. If Mariners play 13 games this tournament, that's legit half an A-League season. And I'm of the opinion, as I'm sure many of you guys are as well, that the A-League season should be longer. And with new teams coming in, you'd expect it to be. G'day, Edward, up the Knicks. Appreciate that, Edward. Joint leaders at the moment. Joint level on points, obviously, Wellington Phoenix and Mariners on the A-League men's ladder. Mariners now with their 11th corner of the game after 83 minutes of football. Maxi Ballard, his deliveries have been good, to be fair. But can he find a target? You can see Mariners aren't committing as many numbers forward. Oh, he was looking for Harry Steele on the short pass. It did not work out at all. Defenders are back for the Mariners, though. So you can sense from the Mariners now that there's no sort of urgency to grab a goal. There's no reason to be unnecessarily risky here. Just going to try and stay, injury free. Just keep the clean sheet. That would be nice. Just manage the game from here. It's game management, as they say. Harry Steele finds Thea Harris in a bit of space on the left. The early delivery from Thea Harris there was a weird decision. It's cut off. Big round of A-League coming up tomorrow night. Newcastle, Adelaide. For our Friday night fixture. 3 games on Saturday in the A-League men's. Wellington v Sydney should be a cracker. Brisbane host MacArthur. And then we're doing a live watch-along. Doing a live watch-along for Perth Glory Western Sydney Wanderers on Saturday night. So join us for that one. Should be a fun one. Troy says, talking about game management, Popovich made 2 changes and they helped them come back tonight. There you go. Tony Popovich, masterstroke. Yeah, credit to Melbourne victory. They were down 1-0 against Western at halftime. Got it back to 2-1 and then ended up drawing 2-2, didn't they? So it's yet another set-piece opportunity here for the Mariners. Free kick. A fair way out. But if Ballard can get the right delivery, the goal could be here. He leaves it. DiPizio will leave it once again. Now Ballard delivers. That was a bizarre one. Ballard ran over the ball, and then DiPizio was there too, and then he ran over the ball. And then Ballard ended up with taking the delivery. Bit of a trickery there from the Mariners, the set piece. "86 minutes played. Can't imagine we'll have too much injury time. Had the drinks break, but not too much else has gone on. Odisha knocking it around the back, but that's not where they need the ball right now. They need to get it up the other end of the pitch. They've been starved of opportunities, Odisha. Credit to the Mariners and how well organized they've been all match, man. You can tell that this team's really well drilled, well organized. Mark Jackson, credit to him, man. He's just done an incredible job. DiPizio with some space. To the feet of Nisbet. Can't find DiPizio. Falls to Reese. Goalkeeper will clear. Do we know much about this Kazakhstan club that will be playing? No, yeah. Are they from Kazakhstan? I think you're probably right, actually, Troy. I can't actually remember off the top of my head. Are they from Kazakhstan? I wasn't sure if it was like Turkmenistan or something like that. You're probably right, though, Troy. It probably is Kazakhstan. No, we'll have to do our research, eh? We'll have to look into it. But obviously, that's the cool thing about this tournament, man. We get to play teams that we really don't know much about and get to discover about, what football is like in different nations. Mariners have overcome just about every hurdle so far. I say just about because, of course, Mariners did slip on that opening match day in the group stage, losing 1-0 to Terengganu from Malaysia. He's Jing Reese edge of the box. He goes down to Pizio trying to get the shot off. Goes out of play. Love the energy and enthusiasm from young Miguel DePizio, man. He's clearly got a lot of talent. Bright future ahead of him, that's for sure as well. Same can be said for Jing Reese. He scored a few goals this campaign for the Mariners. Ballard. Corner number 12, I think. Misses everyone for a goal kick. So Odisha. It was interesting. We're talking about it pre-game, and I thought it might have been a bit more of a tighter contest. But this has turned out to be pretty similar to the first leg, just without the goals. Mariners have been pretty comfortable, but haven't had the goals to match. But it doesn't matter. 4 goals in aggregate. What happened at halftime? Yeah, it's a great question, Edward. It's we don't have too much context, but there was a big coming together at halftime involving Mark Jackson of the Mariners and some of the coaching staff at Odisha FC. So who knows, how that started, but there was a big coming together. Coaches had to be separated. And Mark Jackson was booked, as well as one of the Odisha coaching staff as well. So, yeah, maybe we'll get some more context afterwards. We'll see. Odisha, they win the ball high up the park. As we enter injury time, Odisha into the box. Only 2 minutes added on. That's not a lot considering we had a drinks break, which was at least 2 minutes, as well as like a number of substitutions and obviously the ball heading out. Yeah, man. But I guess doesn't really matter anyway. The AFC Cup run ends for Odisha, but more importantly, we've known it for a while now, but Mariners will be going through to the Inter-Zonal Finals. Another challenge for the Mariners, but they are 3 games away from lifting the trophy, the AFC Cup, which would be a remarkable achievement. It's been a professional performance by the Mariners. Defensively, really solid. Odisha haven't proved to be too much of a threat, to be fair, but when they have gotten forward, Mariners have done good to shut things down and control the play. Mariners are going to make that one final change to finish off the half. Bailey Brantman coming on for Max Ballard. That'll see Josh Nisbet slot into midfield. Brantman to play up top alongside Reese, you'd imagine, for literally the last 30 seconds. Make sure to join us Saturday night. As our next live stream. We're doing a live watch-along for the A-League matchup between Perth Glory and Western Sydney Wanderers, which should be a good game, man. I mean, Wanderers need to come up with some sort of response after losing 7-0 against Melbourne City. Perth Glory, they're always strong at home. 2 minutes of injury time played. Full-time whistle is surely upon us now. There we go. It's official. Central Coast Mariners have officially qualified for the next stage in the AFC Cup. 4-0 in aggregate, 0-0 in the second leg. The home leg at Gosford got the job done in the end. Fantastic from the Mariners, man. Comfortable in the end. We cruised through. Odisha FC just didn't prove to be any threat to the Mariners' defense, man. I mean, Danny Vukovic was called into action once, but it ended up being offside anyway, so I wouldn't have even counted. Central Coast Mariners with so many opportunities there. Corner stats was something around 12, 11 corners, and couldn't find the goal. Mikael Docker had a great chance from the penalty spot. Hit the post. In the long run, it didn't matter in the end. Handshakes between the staff, which is good to see. Mark Jackson involved in a bit of a scuffle at halftime. But good to see that it's all handshakes around. And, hey, look, the good news for the Mariners is as well, they get to come home and, they don't have to back it up days later in the A-League. They've got a break for the next couple of weeks before their next game, which takes place on the 30th of March away to Sydney FC. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always. This has been a good watch along. Good to see Mariners come away with the result that gets us through to the next round. 0-0 on the night. 4-0 in aggregate. Mariners keeping the AFC Cup dream alive. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Drop a like on the way out. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.